Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, a holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
Thursday Night Football is on, and it's only on Prime Video.
Brilliant, just brilliant.
This week, the West Coast action heats up when the Rams meet the Seahawks in a huge divisional showdown. Coverage begins at 7 p.m. Eastern with football's best party, TNF Tonight, presented by Verizon. And don't miss the Broncos and Chiefs on Christmas night. It's Thursday Night Football, only on Prime Video. Not a Prime member? Not a problem. Simply sign up for a 30-day free trial. Restrictions apply. See Amazon.com/Amazon Prime for details.
Dr. Raj.
Dr. Raj Dasgupta.
The most interesting pulmonologist in the world.
Welcome to the Dr. Raj Podcast, a show all about empowering knowledge, addressing difficult topics, raising awareness, and being positive. Dr. Raj is a quadruple board-certified physician, associate professor of clinical medicine, and the associate program director of internal medicine residency. He was a co-host on the TNT series Chasing the Cure with Ann Curry, as well as a regular on the TV show The Doctors. And now, here's our show.
Hi, and welcome to the Dr. Raj Podcast. And what is this a podcast of? It's about happiness and wellness, great people, amazing stories, and of course, from time to time about technology. Technology that could help people. Technology that could help people sleep and actually function better during the day, help out with chronic pain, help out with medicine. So today's theme, everyone, is going to be about virtual reality. I know it's kind of like from a Tron movie, but if you didn't catch that analogy, I'm sorry for dating myself. But I want to say a few words about VR before we meet our guests today. So virtual reality is the name given to the technology that allows a user to simulate a situation or experience of interest using a VR headset. Literally, you wear a headset within an interactive but computer-generated environment. The simulation is immersive and may require the use of, some 3D goggles with a screen or gloves that provide sensory feedback to help the user learn from experience in this virtual world. Virtual reality is used in many areas of healthcare in a variety of applications. These include medical training for both doctors and training students, patient treatment, medical marketing, educating people about disease or a medical condition. And it is estimated that the global market for VR will be around $4 billion, that's a B, dollars by 2030. And my last 2 points are studies show that VR can potentially enhance memory, focus, puzzle solving, and speech in those with dementia, which for those who know me is a big passion of mine. The technology is increasingly seen as an option to improve time to sleep and quality of sleep. So of course, I got to talk about this, but of course, VR is not for everyone, but I think this is going to be a really great topic. And today we have two guests from Germany. They're literally in Germany right now. That's so cool. And we have Giorgio and Martin Koppehele, who are the CEOs of Magic Horizons. So the brothers Giorgio and Martin Koppehele founded the company Magic Horizons in 2018 for the conception, production, and distribution of virtual reality experiences. Together with their wives, Suna and Gabby, they developed relaxation virtual reality experiences for the global market. Martin and Giorgio bring to Magic Horizons an extraordinary level of expertise in audiovisual media, which they gained through years of successful production in their first two companies, which is Avenue Music and Classic Arts. And through these experiences, they won numerous awards at the highest levels. Since 2013, Giorgio and Martin also produced 360 planetarium shows where they gained extensive experience and pioneered work in the field of 3D audio and immersive surround sound. In this area, they benefited from their expertise in immersive audio and collaborated with exceptional partners such as Dolby Almos Systems and also the inventor of MP3s and many, many more. Together with their team, Martin and Giorgio have expertise in stereoscopic, full spherical 3D CGI high-end animation. Their audiovisual productions were released on Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray, UHD Blu-ray, and DVD, as well as performed and broadcasted via planetarium, cinemas, and internet, and of course, TV. So Magic Horizons is committed to the highest quality products. The team is honored to receive scientific advice from the Game Lab in Berlin, a research and developmental platform for the interdisciplinary and laboratory imagine knowledge design cluster of excellence of the Humboldt University in Berlin, Germany, with an exceptional design and programming team. Magic Horizon creates VR experiences at the highest artistic and technical levels. And with this, Giorgio, Martin, how are you doing today? And thank you for being here.
Wow, what an announcement. Thank you so much. And we are more than happy to be here. Greetings from Germany. We visited Washington some weeks ago where we could exhibit at the VA Immersive Summit. It was really hot in Washington. Now summer is coming to Germany as well. And we are more than happy being here. Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're super welcome. And Martin, thank you for treating me out to some dinner when you came to visit here in LA a couple months ago.
It was a pleasure meeting you there. And of course, that we have this talk today. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
And I got to tell you, Martin, your wife is pretty cool. I loved it. I loved meeting her, and she's fun to be around.
Yeah, I will. We had a lot of fun this evening, definitely. Yeah.
All right. So, hey, Giorgio, I'm gonna start off with you on this one, okay? So, my first question is, so why did you found Magic Horizons, and what was your motivation, Giorgio?
It's a funny story. My brother Martin and me, we always had some crazy ideas, and when we were kids, we loved to watch Star Trek. And our dad was at Siemens, so with him, we worked on little soldering electronic pieces, and our mother is painter. So we watched between Mickey Mouse and reading comics, we had Salvador Dali and art. So we grew up between art and technology. And they rented a room, we called it the beaming room from Star Trek, because we loved the idea of teleporting. And we never forgot about this. And as you mentioned, we did a lot of relaxation, but more for wealthy people, because all these high-end Blu-rays is if you have a big home cinema, the planetarium, and we got so many people writing on the internet, Facebook, social media, oh, I was with my darling in your relaxation show, we could sleep better. Can I get it on prescription from my doctor? I don't have a planetarium, I don't have a home cinema. And in 2016, 2 years before we founded, we got the first Oculus, and we were in Hamburg, and they had a bus, and it was a long queue. So I went in the first row and gave the first guy some euros. I must see it first. So I was the first in row. They put on a bulky headset, tethered, not so smart like the ones we use now. It was amazing, but a shock, because we saw dinosaurs, zombies, very negative, and the negative feeling in 360 can be really frightening. So instantly, I phoned my team at home and say, we got to go to an electronic shop right the next day, buy these, and we must use technology for good. So we must do the opposite, calming, beautiful nature, soft things, no motion sickness, all that. And that came like a flash. And then we sell it now to the elderly like virtual trips. So it's back to the topic. It's teleporting. We don't teleport the person, but your brain, your soul, your mind.
Oh, I love that. So to make sure we're on the same page, we're talking about the old school Star Trek from like the 1960s. That is so cool.
It's serious. And Magic Horizons, it should be magically simple. The user should know nothing about technology. That's our job. And we have a saying in Germany, the journey continues beyond the horizon. It's an infinite journey. And that's why we chosen Magic Horizons. And yeah, then in 2018, we said, okay, let's make a business. Let's do it professional. Let's team up with Humboldt University, other universities. Yeah, and here we are. And that's how it came. And our children's dream is coming alive now.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. So when I got to meet your brother, like Martin, he like threw some VR glasses on me. And I like the analogy you used about transporting, because that's what I felt like, you know what I mean? And you guys were the first glasses VR thing I ever put on my face. And my buddy Todd, who's on here, took a video of it. I'm like trying to grab things. It was so realistic. So that's a great description. Hey, Martin, are you ready for your question?
Sure.
All right. So you're going to have to answer for both you and Giorgio on this one, because you know, what you do is super smart and you're integrating a lot of stuff. So what is your guys' technical background? How did you guys, is this in your wheelhouse? Did you have to train yourself to do this, or were you naturally gifted to do VR?
So like Giorgio explained, since we were a little child, we were in touch with any kind of technology because our dad was an engineer. And I remember when I was a child, 5 years old, my dad told, the day will come where the TV will be on the wall flat like a painting. And I was sitting, I even was not in school. I was sitting at the breakfast and stared at my daddy and said, oh, I can't believe. And he told of all development which will come. And we just really, took everything and were like infected with technology since kids. And that's why we all the time have been interested. And our first steps in business has been in the music business. That means at the age of 18, we built up our first company, the Avenue Music Company, which is, we have quite long. And we began to build up our own first studio. So we learned by doing everything from to record audio. We went to other studios. We went to professionals, get hints, and read a lot of stuff. So we are really learning by doing types, but very open for any kind of technology, reading a lot. And so one thing came to another. And we have both one real great gift, that is we can listen to people. So if we meet people who has an expertise and have know-how, we listen to them, look to them, ask them. And that's why we have got this gift that we can do all this stuff.
I love it. I love it.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite, obey your thirst.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
So we're going to go pivot back to Giorgio on this one. So one thing I really do admire about you guys is that you're teaming up with university level. I mean, awesome universities. So my question is, why did you guys decide to start to cooperate with very famous universities like Humboldt University, which is in Berlin, everyone, and King's College, which is in London? What was your reasoning behind that, Giorgio?
Yeah, very good question. So as Martin pointed out, we teached out ourselves from technology. So when we jumped into virtual reality, it's like Planetarium 360. And there we learned a lot with Planetarium Hamburg. We worked with Fraunhofer. So we had a knowledge. We did not start by zero. But My wife, Suna, is a hypnotherapist teacher. Gabby is kinesiologist. So our wives who are working also in the company have a lot of knowledge how to soothe and relax people. But we wanted to put this on a more solid ground. And the funny story, again, a funny story, I was on a talk about 5G, not exactly the cup of my tea, but I did a quite nice talk. And then came a guy from Humboldt. I didn't know. You must know the people behind the Lichtmond, Light of the Moon project with Fraunhofer, 360 projection, 100 of loudspeaker. That is amazing. I said, that's us. That's we. Okay. Do you need help? I said, yes, we just founded Magic Horizons. But we know in virtual reality, some people get seasick. Some people have fear of heights. And this, you mentioned it, Excellence Cluster of Picture Knowledge Design of the Game Lab Berlin of Humboldt University did all the research. So they did a meta study for us, where to place the real or virtual camera, what frequencies for the ear are good, what colors. As I say, the best doctors, the best researchers must give us the instructions. The best immersive media producers, artists, designers must do this and join forces for recurring usage. Because if a doctor is doing it, maybe then it's some entertaining factor missing. If only people doing it technology-wise, they will probably miss out how our brain works. So we have this symbiosis. And after we had Humboldt, we met the team from Professor Valmagia in the UK. And she instantly was blown away about the quality. So we have another 2 studies, one in psychiatry for the stressed or staff, another one exciting for young students with fear of exams. So we get a double. One group gets, unfortunately, no Magic Horizons. The other one gets, and maybe you know, in school somebody approach you, what's this numbers, and your amygdala is firing. You are afraid of the exam. You have the knowledge, but your brain is blocked. So go to our Swiss Highlands or Color Room Green for a 5-minute to refocus, and you will do hopefully better exams. And one day we met Orbit Skibrizzo, very well known in the US from the University of Southern California. And he did with some partners some initial user testing on our binaural beats. And we got the NHS Cambridgeshire, who did a thrilling examination about elderly. So more and more, and I can't talk about the big hospital, but the next exciting corporations. And we are winning a lot of pitches, and we are more than thrilled because they tell us what we have to do, and we do it for the patients, for the elderly, for the veterans. So it's a symbiosis. And we are more than thrilled. We are no doctors, but we have not one doctor. We have a bunch of doctors in the best university. So we are more than happy because we can really say it's scientifically founded. And that is one of the greatest things.
Well, hey, let me know about that study about doing better in your exams. Here in the States, if the students find out there's a little boost bonus to score higher on exams, I want to buy all the stock in this Magic Horizons. That's the way to go.
Yeah, these studies, as you probably know, they take 1 year, 2 years. Started the cooperation with King's College before the pandemic. It took some time, but it's now most of the studies are done, and with King's College ongoing. And it's really great to see the reactions. And they do it on their own. We have no influence, but so far in all studies, the outcomes are really amazing.
That's awesome. All right, back to Martin. So the initial question I was going to ask you was that, my boy Todd was helping me out with some questions. There was something called the core verticals. And I'm like, what the hell are core verticals? So I kind of going to reword that question a little bit. So it really means that, hey, what is your target audience? What do you want to accomplish with this? You know what I mean? I know that, your brother touched a little base with it, but you could answer it, by yourself, Martin. Who do you really want to touch with this? What are your core verticals?
Yeah. We have 3 core verticals we are concentrating on. We already touched it a little bit. These are the elderly people, to help them in situations where they are quite nervous. Of course, we offer something like a virtual trip for them for entertainment, but entertainment is only one part. Like Giorgio mentioned, the study in England, this was with elderly people with a high grade of dementia, with a very positive outcome. That means we can reduce all these negative effects, these aggressions of people with dementia, and calm them down. So the work for elderly people is one core vertical. The second one is in the pure medical terms. We are here in Europe, medical device software, and have the CE certification as a medical device. This is for calming the patients, lowering the pain, lowering anxiety before, during, and after medical treatments. And the third one is for employees, stress reduction for employees. A short breather, like a short break of 5 minutes to refocus, to gain new energy, and to strengthen your resilience on the long run.
Okay. Now, this is a good question because, Giorgio, you were kind of helping me out earlier with this. I was talking about this term I didn't understand called unique setting points. But let's kind of dumb it down for me and make sure my listeners understand this. So I think it comes down to what makes your device, the Magic Horizons device, better and so unique than anything else out there. And I got to tell you, I used it. And I did walk around this convention where I met Martin at, and I put other devices on. And yes, not because I like you guys. I did feel your device, for me, things were so sharp and clear. Things just sounded really good. Like I could tell for someone very naive like me how good your device was. But this is your question, Giorgio. What makes you different? What makes you better than other devices?
Yeah, thanks for the question. The USP or unique selling point is what differentiates us from competitors. And you mentioned one thing, we come from high-end entertainment. We had the honor to work with fantastic musicians like Alan Parsons, Mitchell, Boy George, and these expect the highest quality. So quality is part of our DNA. And we try very hard with our team. We use a specific AI resharpening. I'm not going into any technical details, but you have to imagine we create 360 balls where you put your head in, but it's like a diver glass. So you see only a little fraction. So you must produce a super high quality because, as you have realized, if you move very fast, so we have very low latency, we have this fantastic quality. This is technology-wise, and we use the so-called binaural audio, 3D audio as well. We always have 4 layers, so you can hear meditation with voice, without, just nature. So under the hood, you have a lot of selection possibilities. So one is technology-wise. Mm-hmm. Second USP is, like mentioned, the scientific background of the best universities. And the third one is we don't license. We produce, we fly the world, we film in real nature, but we also have color rooms, we have interactive training, we have brainwaves. So it's a one-stop solution. It's all in a place. Plus, our customers told us about the platform. We have preset plans ranging from green deep relaxation to gaining energy for the hospitals. So they log in a playlist. The user does not even need a controller, and it's automatically running. We have user playlists for the elderly care homes. Wow. So we do motto weeks like ocean walks, forest walks. We have a dedicated training plan for all the employees, and we have this double strategy. We help employees also in the care homes or in the hospitals with more than 150 training units. And I think the quality of the applications, the scientific background, the variety that we have all in one place, from passive to interactive, from real nature to CGI, all is one click away. And our unique platform makes it, and the easy usage. And this is a package which shall help doctors, caregivers, easy access, very low barriers to entry, and the patients. For me, the best KPI, key performance index, is not saving time. It's all good. Is a smile in the face. Our oldest Our oldest customer is 102 years, funny story. And she was in all nature. We always start with veterans and elderly with the nature. They love it. And one day she said, oh, Giorgio, show me something more thrilling. And yes, you can visit Mars in Magic Horizons. And you can see how the astronauts find water. You find them, you relax on Mars. And she phoned their grandchildren and said, Granny was on Mars even before Elon Musk. So they got very excited and visited her. So we listen to the customers. What do they want? What filters, what access do we do? And I think this is the strength that these 4 different columns of mental health we can offer. And
that's
this
awesome.
Makes the USP.
And of course, besides all that, I'm not going to let you go. I think you mentioned one of my 80s favorites. You mentioned Boy George. I mean, I'm not going to let that one slide. How on earth did, Mr. Come a Chameleon, do you really want to, how did he get involved with Magic Horizons? What was he doing?
Yeah, some years ago, we were on a tour, and there we met his guitarist, and we played some of the tracks, which we had audiovisual. The guitarist was blown away, and we said, oh, we love Boy George, and he's so great. So we came in touch, and we had some beer and hang out. And then we said, can we write a song for a project, which we have? And he normally does not, but he liked us, all came together, and
that's cool.
For one of our projects, he wrote a song with us.
And then 1 year later, we took part on a multi-artist tour during Germany. It's one of the biggest tours in Germany, all these big stadiums with our own act Lichtmond. And he was also part of that. So we had a 4-week touring with him then. And since then, we had a lot of fun.
Are you guys all dancing with him like, I'll tumble for you?
He is brilliant, fantastic, such a great musician. Yeah, it was an honor for us. Yeah.
That's so. All right, back to you, Martin. We got a question for you. Okay, so yours might be one of the harder ones, dude. So what are the main benefits for your customers? Because it always comes down to customers. So how do you create value and meaningfulness for your customers?
So the biggest value of every customer, no matter which vertical he's coming out, he is feeling better, because what we are doing is like an instant stress reduction. And if you are a patient before a medical treatment, you don't feel good because you have stress, because you have anxiety before this treatment. If you an employee have a high stress level because you have a very important meeting, have to refocus, it's also the stress which is in the foreground. And also the elderly people, like I mentioned before, when they know something is wrong about me, we have a lot of problems with elderly people of feeling lonely and stuff like that. So they have some fears. So this is causing also stress. So the benefit for all our customers is that we can reduce their personal stress within some minutes. Like I said, like a push on the button, that's the biggest benefit. And afterwards, like Giorgio said, this is not a USP, but it's the greatest USP. They have a smile on the face. They feel better. And then, of course, you have hard facts. If the people feel better, have less fear, then, of course, for the medical treatment, a lot of studies already have shown, if you know it better than me, I guess, if you have a patient who is feeling good, has a good mindset, everything after the treatment, the healing, everything is running smoother. So it's a benefit for the patient. The same for the employee. If he had the chance to refocus, is doing a better meeting afterwards, is feeling better, then he can perform better. And the elderly people also, if they have not these depressions or these dementia problems and stuff like that, they are feeling better.
Wow. So, Giorgio, your question is going to be his question is about the customers. I just want to hear what you feel, because when we talk about VR, we talk about Magic Horizons, there's so many places and things you could dabble into. But what are the main areas? If you could name like one or two, the ones that you feel the Magic Horizons VR software is really, really meant for, what at this point do you feel is going to be your super, super target audience?
Yeah, thank you very much. We always pose ourselves this question when we started, and we do it even today. And the final answer is we want to help every stressed out person on this planet. Of course, this would need a huge company and so on. But where we can help, like Martin pointed out, the elderly, veterans. So we focus first on people in the need of assistance.
Nice.
Anxiety, with fear, maybe elderly are lying in the bed gazing at the white wall. So the difference than watching TV is you put on our headset, you're not watching a movie about a forest, the ocean, dolphins. You're in the blue ocean. You can really touch and see it because our brain believes what it sees and hears. So we strive super hard. We fight for every pixel to get the quality. The better the quality, the better the immersion is. So this is it. The youngest customers, about 10, 11, they are children with cancer, which is very sad. And some of the treatment, they cannot be sedated. They cry if they get an injection. So we can, the child goes on Mars, Moon, on a river walk. The patient is happy. The doctors, the nurses, they are all happy. We can save costs and time, less sedation as well. But finally, we have people for home use. We have people in the midst of life because stress is a phenomenon. And we had the pandemic. Now we have a lot of crises in the world, climate crisis, you name it, economic. It's a fragile blue planet we are on, and we must all function within our families. We have mothers, we have fathers to care, we have children who are growing up, and we must perform. And we have all that smartphone technology, but sometimes it's distracting us. And we call it the virtual oasis for all the stressed out, for all the ones where the head is full, and you go there like a magic button. It's a rainy day in Germany, and we have a lot of rainy days and a lot of stress and 3 or 5 virtual meetings on video meetings, and our head is full. What if you have the button, you teleport to Thailand? What would we do? We see the beach, we look around, we take a deep breath, how beautiful it is. We put on the VR glasses, we turn the head, it's 360, we take a deep breath, we see how beautiful it is. And it's proven in numerous studies, you must let yourself in. VR, like you mentioned, it's like for 80-90%. Pareto principle, 10% can't see 3D. But for 90%, it works very well to let go. And this is not going to work on a tiny smartphone with a meditation because you're listening, but then you're browsing the web and you hear the news. So that's amazing. And this is we are not built for this. So I think we found the spot, and we are testing the waters. Like the veteran organization approached us. We were so honored that we could exhibit in the beautiful city of Washington, and we got such great feedback. So veterans, that's amazing. These people give their lives for the country, and they get back and they have physical injuries, they have bad sleep. We, the policemen, we put our lives, we can sleep better, our children can sleep better. So we must do everything to get them out of this negative hamster wheel. And that's what we're striving for. So mainly we have these focus areas, or we have people who want to purchase private, who come even from other so-called verticals. So we are open-minded. If we can help, we are always happy to do so. But initially, we have to focus, not to lose the focus. So it's these 3 groups we are mainly on. And maybe one last sentence, the veterans are in the sweet spot because some of them are elderly, some of them are patients. And the staff also needs a lot of power to help them. So we can give for them as well. And I think there's Magic Horizons with our vision. I think that's a good sweet spot where we can really help.
No, I love it. I love it. So we're down to the last two questions. One for Martin, then back to you, Giorgio, for the closing. Martin, your question is going to be, what is your vision and mission for Magic Horizons?
Yeah, thank you very much for the question.
Yeah, give you a good one.
Yeah, it's a very good one. Giorgio already, I think, answered it. Yeah, our mission is really to bring a relief and an easy-to-use tool to everybody who is stressed out on a very simple way, where the people don't have to learn anything, just put on the headset, dive into the experience and let go. And this is really our mission. I can keep it short, to help people who are stressed out, people who need assistance, and give them a bit joy in their life back.
No, that was nice and sweet and to the point, and I believe you 100%. And Giorgio, your question, I kept this one in because the question was, how do you envision the future of the, quote, industrial metaverse? And I didn't even know what an industrial metaverse is. So can you explain that to me and then answer the question?
Sure, of course. The so-called metaverse is, some people think about, it's like a three-dimensional layer around the internet. So we go to virtual places, we can see our houses with the glasses, we can prototyping, we can collaborate with avatars, with all the positive and negative influence. That's the normal metaverse. Sounds a bit like a science fiction. The industrial metaverse is already there. For example, big companies here in Germany, which you probably know, like BMW, Siemens, use it to show their products, their prototypes. You don't have to spend a lot of money and to waste material. You can take your paintings and then you sit literally and say, oh, I want a different color. I do the steering wheel a bit up and down. So prototyping, collaboration on a totally different level. So we would meet in the virtual same room, stand about a whiteboard. That makes something with you. Speaker training, also very interesting, because you can have sliders. You stand in front of 10, 100 or 10,000 people and you can train your speech. And we want to be that fourth column, mental health. All industrial metaverse is more productivity, which in some use cases, the XR, extended realities, that's augmented reality, virtual reality, or blended reality, that all comes together. And if we do it for good, for meaningful purpose, that's the main thing. So we use the technology, but with a meaningful impact. So we have, for example, a company in Germany who is doing industrial metaverse trainers, and they do a lot of productivity. They teamed up with us, and every 20 minutes, they do a 5-minute relaxation. They go to the same room, and that's fantastic for team building. You might sit in San Francisco, I'm in Munich, somebody else, somewhere else on the planet, and we do a session, and we together make this mini holiday, vacation, stress relief together, and then we speak about it. So the industrial metaverse starts to come. I think there are a lot of good and meaningful use cases, saving, protecting environment, less energy, less flying around the globe. This is good, but please, we are human beings. So think of the brain, think of the soul, and give the people something to relax, to recover. And that is where we come in place. So we are very optimistic about good use cases, not so sure about the customer metaverse. This is something nebulous, but the industrial metaverse has really good use cases. And there are not many companies like ours who think also about the numerous employees. So it's going to come. I think it's going to be huge. We had the PC as computing platform, we had the smartphone, and now we have the glasses. And it's come to stay. it's got the typical life cycle. When they occurred, everybody said, this will solve all problems of the world. This is a period of joy. Then it goes in the valley of tears. It's not good for nothing. It's not sharp. And now the use cases are coming. Hey, it is good for prototyping. Hey, I can put virtual furniture in my flat and then I can order it from the glasses. Hey, I can see my holiday location in 360 if I like it. And also we can do on the mental health. And I hope I could explain a bit the opportunities of the industrial metaverse.
No, you did a pretty awesome job, you two. Hey, I actually wasn't going to ask Todd a question, but I'm going to ask him for all my listeners who want to learn more about these two cool dudes, anyone wants to meet Bored George in the future, Todd, how can they get a hold of these two guys and get more information about Magic Horizon stuff? Can you kind of plug them in that way?
Yeah, sure. Anything over in Europe and around the world, they can always contact Giorgio or Martin at magic-horizons.com. And for the US and North America, they can contact me, Todd, 2 Ds, at magic-horizons.com. And they can go to magic-horizons.com, of course, to the website. And there's a lot of really great information on there.
That's awesome. And let me just close by saying that, I got to use their VR technology. It did kick butt. I had a blast on it. I just love certain things about these two. I love that they've said they're focusing on chronic pain, anxiety, sleep. I love my veterans. I love that they kind of plugged them in. My dad's got dementia. I love that they're doing stuff in dementia. So I just like to be surrounded by people who have good vibes. And, I'm not a scientist, but I think that their hearts are in the right place. And I really enjoyed their technology. So thank you, both Martin and Giorgio, for coming on my podcast today. Both you dudes are awesome.
Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure.
It's a pleasure. It's an honor, and it's a lot of fun. And you have the heart also on the right place. It is fantastic. Sure.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for today's episode for the Dr. Raj podcast. Don't forget to pick up your virtual reality glasses, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Dr. Raj podcast. If you enjoy the show, then please make sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app and leave a rating while you're there. This show is for educational and entertainment purposes only and is not intended as medical advice. This has been a production of MedPrep2Go, and you can learn more at medprep2go.com.